These are some of the best animations on Roblox, where they are made by very, very talented people. And then there's me. Yeah. I'm kind of bad. But here's the thing. I've always wanted to be an animator for years, and it's just something I could never do correctly. But the only problem is that animating is a skill that takes years to master. You need to know editing, VFX, animating, sound design, and a whole lot more. And obviously I don't know how to do any of that. So I decided to give myself just 7 days to see if I actually tried for a week, could I end up being good? That being said, my goal is very simple. First, I want to make an animation every day that was harder than the last. And on the final day, I want to make a really, really good animation where I'm going to then show it to all of my friends and have them judge it. So, let's begin. Every day I see you is a fine day. For day one, I knew I had to start off strong. As I said, I had a goal for every single day. And my goal for day one was very simple. Just learn the basics. Make a basic fighting animation and get a feeling for my current skills. However, we were already off to a bad start. Well, I just made a whole animation for like an hour and looked at tutorials and realized my recording was not going. Here's what I made though. It's pretty good. I completely made an animation and forgot to click record, meaning I had to completely restart. However, I wasn't going to let that stop, because what I did was I watched a tutorial on YouTube where I learned about something called impact rate, which basically made the hits look like they actually happened, and that showed me how I could improve by day 7. So after locking in, I finished the animation. That is, for my first animation, that's not bad. I'm taking that for day 1. Honestly, it wasn't that bad for day 1. I was happy with the animation, but to me, that was kind of just the warm-up day. And I had no clue what I was in store for on day 2. Day 2 was focused on environmental animation. I don't know what else to call it, so I'll draw it out so it makes sense. Basically, I wanted to have an RPG shoot, the front detaches, and it explodes, which sounds simple, but it wasn't. I spent a long time stuck because I couldn't animate it properly, and eventually I had to scrap the idea. And I even got my animator in a call to try and help me, and he couldn't even figure it out either. So I had to switch to a different idea, which was kind of similar. It was a guy jumps around a corner, shoots where there's a visible bullet, there's an impact, and then an explosion. So after grinding out, I finished the animation, and honestly, it was a huge step up from day 1. Yeah, so not great, but things were looking very promising. And I even knew what I needed to improve. I needed more fluid motion and better movement. And with day 7 getting closer, I couldn't mess this up. Now it's finally day 3, and I wanted to find games to reference because professional animations are literally everywhere, and I could just copy them. My goal was to study games with walking animations, which are one of the most important animations in any game. But that turned out to be way harder than I expected. Let's just search up anime. Let's see what's going on there. Anime auto chess. Let's try you out. What the f is this? Hey, no, leave me alone, please. Please get off my screen, though. Skip, leave me alone. Yeah, so I just kept running into cutscenes, which made me just go and watch another tutorial. So after watching the video, I tried making my own walking animation, and it looked really good until I tried playing it. That is abysmal. Don't tell me walking is going to be the death of me. Like, it's the one thing I just can't get down. Imagine. And at that point, it felt like I might have wasted the whole day. So I had to come up with something quick. I changed to a dash animation with motion trails, just so I could still learn something. And that became my final animation for the day. And with day 7 getting closer, I couldn't afford another day like this. And now we're already on to day 4, which means we're officially, 57% through the challenge, and I knew it was time to make a real change. I spent most of my time on here learning, which I guess makes sense. I mean, it's only a 7-day challenge, but I decided that I had to start taking big steps in order to improve. You see, my idea today was to have a noob walking through a park, then he sees a brick that was almost thrown at him from somebody in a castle, then he throws it back. Very simple, right? But I realized that what I was doing for the last few days wasn't going to get me to make a good animation by day 7. And like I said a second ago, I need to take big steps. So I did take some big steps. First, I storyboarded it, which basically means I draw out each scene, and this is already good and likely to improve my animations a lot because I know what I'm animating for. But that's not it. Today's goal was also to add sounds, a map, and making it so you could interact with the map, and editing. So today was going to be one of the most important days for improvement. And I'm expected to do all this while still being bad. But it's fine, because I'm learning, right? So I ended up animating the guy throwing the brick first, which went something like this. Alright, that's kind of silly. I like it. I don't know, maybe I can do like... Oh, wait, that's clean. It like picks up speed. Hold on. Oh, shit, that looks actually horrible. Yeah, so the throwing animation wasn't that great, which kind of sucked because today was supposed to be one of my most important days. So if I didn't fix that today, there was no way I was going to pull off the crazy animation on day 7. So I really tried to fix it, and I even did easing, and it actually kind of started working. The animation stopped looking so bad. Now all I had to do to finish was make this guy grab the brick, throw it back, hit the guy that threw it, camera changes, he hits the ground, boom, and animation. So I put all that to my editor, and here it is. Yeah, so not incredible, but little did I know, things were going to get a lot better on day 5. So, you might be wondering what's so special about today, and I'll get to that. But for right now, I want to find an anime game, because today I'm learning VFX, which is arguably one of the most important parts of animating. Basically, see when I punch and there's this little trail? That's there because of VFX, for basically all of these fighting styles. And without it, these animations would look extremely dull. It's basically like the second half of anime. So today, I was going to be learning it and putting it into my animation. And what I didn't know at this time was that I was going to end up sending it in the Moon Animator Discord to get opinions. So there was a lot at stake today. And on top of VFX, I want an environment interaction just like yesterday, but kind of different now that there's VFX. So that being said, here's today's animation plan. Basically, I was going to go for a jump, and a noob was going to knock out the block I was going to land on with a sword, and I was gonna fall. Very simple, very quick, but that also means it's easier to make it clean and put in VFX. So to start, I animated the noob jumping and intentionally avoided the walking because, you know, I made the noob hit the block and then the VFX. And then I had to animate myself falling. And I learned something new today, which was how to make a bounce. So with all this combined, here's the final animation. Now, for day 6, I was going to spend a lot of time on this because this was meant to be a really important day. I basically ended up grinding out an animation, and it just didn't look good. The only thing that happened this day was that somebody in the Discord replied and said my animation looked good, and I just had to fix the arm rotation, which would actually end up helping on day 7. So here's the day 6 animation, but don't worry because I just had to clutch up in day 7. Okay, so now it's time for day 7. I spent so much time trying to get here, about 7 days. And now I had to make a really good animation that my friends would end up seeing. So yeah, safe to say I was feeling a ton of pressure. And just because it's day 7, I knew I had to use the same storyboarding method as before. So the premise for this one was that a noob was going to spawn in an obby, look around, and do the obby a bit. He jumps and the hacker kind of misses him, and I'm going to show you the final animation as my friends react to it. So after getting my friends in a call, I played the animation for them.
Let's see what you got, pal. Ah. What is that? Ah.
I'd say it's out of 10. Like, I was expecting way better. This was like dookie water.
So I can definitely tell it was made by a beginner. Yeah, it's not terrible, horrible, but it's okay. I'll give it a 6 or 7 out of 10.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. For 7 days, man, that is pretty freaking good. I like that.
Yeah, so maybe I could have done better, but maybe I should just do this for 30 days and see how good I can do. By the way, YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this video on screen, so please watch that and subscribe.